Before we jump into today's video, I just wanted to quickly say, if you watched my last vlog, which was a spend the week with me, and we launched my new merch collection, my merch collection actually did sell out, and I know so many people didn't get to grab the pieces they wanted, so I'm just coming on here to update you guys that on this coming Friday, the 9th of May at 6 p.m. UK time, we are opening pre-orders for 48 hours only. And pre-orders will be shipping from Friday the 30th of May, and we will also be doing a huge restock on Friday the 30th of May. So if you missed out on the launch night and you didn't get what you want, make sure you add the 9th of May to your calendar, 6 p.m. UK time, to pre-order. And if you don't manage to pre-order, we will be doing the restock on the 30th. You'll be able to shop on Ed Embroidery's website directly, but we can't guarantee the restock won't sell out. So the only way that you can definitely get all the pieces that you want is by pre-ordering this Friday 9th of May at 6 p.m. UK time. Pre-order will only be open at the weekend. I will be sharing more info on my Instagram stories as the week goes, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. But a massive thank you to anyone who did end up picking up something on the launch day, and if you haven't, then I hope that you can get what you want on Friday. All right, into the video now. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We are pulling my TBR for the month of May. So what books are we going to read? Last month, out of the 6 that we picked, this is how many that I read. So we didn't do too bad. I was hoping to get all of them done, but I didn't. Simply that, I didn't. Songlight I did want to pick up. I just ran out of time to read that, so maybe we'll try pull it again this month, or we'll see what the prompts give us. Now, I have gotten through like a big chunk of my TBR in the last couple of months, and I have been mood reading my physical TBR, but I do also have books on my shelf that I haven't read, like my Fairy Loot special editions and stuff that I always forget about. We have got a old candle jar that I've moved the TBR jar to, so we've got quite a full big jar here. It's a bit easier to pull prompts. So we're just gonna dive straight in and pick our first book or prompt for a book that we're gonna read in the month of May. Flying by. So this says unread on the shelf. Speak of the devils, literally just talking about how I have books unread on my shelf. So we're gonna pick a book that is on my shelf that I have not read. Now I've got, like I said, a few Fairy Loot books, and there's a couple that have caught my eye, but I also have some other books because I like to keep full series together. And if I have the full series, I mean, when I got these shelves, I kind of have put some books on the bigger shelves to take up some of the space so it's not so empty. So I've got like full series but also authors. If I buy a new book from an author but I have like all of their stuff already on my shelf, I kind of sometimes just put the book up there. Coops, stop it, we're gonna get up. Cooper is just sat on my lap right now just staring at me. I'm sorry Coops, we're gonna have to move so we can go look at the bookshelf. I've got The Wren in the Holly Library that I've not read and I kind of do want to read, so we've got that. I really want to read Air by Saba Tahir. Oh, yep. What else? Okay, so it turns out that I have a lot more books on my shelf unread than I thought I did, because this is already giving like an entire TBR. But I have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I have read like every other Ali Hazelwood book except for this one. So this is a probably potential up there. Good palette cleanser. I think this is her YA romance, so I'm interested to read and see how that goes. Lady of the Lake was a new book, third and final book in a trilogy, so we could complete a series with this, and the author did just send me a copy of this, the Fae Spy Academy series, and I have been waiting for the conclusion of the trilogy because the way that book 2 ended in the direction of that, I was very intrigued. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I have not read any of her books. I think that's why I haven't picked it up, because I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but I know I would probably love it. So we have that, and everyone raves about this. Like, everyone loves this book. Blood Marked. It's on my shelf because I have read Legendborn, so I keep the books together, but I haven't read Blood Marked yet. And Bailey told me that I needed to read this one already, and book 3's just come out. Our Infinite Fates. I also bought this because Bailey told me to read it, but I haven't finished it, or I haven't even started it, actually. And I've heard it's quite short, and is this a standalone? I just think the UK cover edition of this is so much prettier than the US one. And then we have Throne of Secrets. I was so excited for this to be released, and then after seeing all the reviews when they came out, I was like, maybe I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna read this one. I don't think I'll read a Fairy Loot edition either, because I know I have a few Fairy Loot prompts in here, so I might save the Fairy Loot ones for that. And I think I'm gonna pick from these 4, but I don't know which one to choose. I think this is the one that I've had the longest, so we're gonna go with Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. That is the first book that we're reading, and then I will be up to date with all of Ali Hazelwood's books because she has another one coming out. Is it coming out this month in May? Well, we're gonna read this one. We're gonna read Check and Mate. That is our first book on the TBR. So like I said, this is her young adult book. I love that she does something different with every book. fuck. This is Mallory is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mum, her sisters, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Reigning bad boy of chess, what a sentence. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone. What's even more confusing, his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over, but Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, she realizes that the games aren't only on the board, the spotlight is brighter than she imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. Allie Hazelwood. Prompt number 2. Oh, a fairy loot book. I did just recently write these prompts and chuck them in, but I thought I buried them further in deep. So these are the 2 fairy loot books that I want to read most. Red in the Holy Library and Air. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Air. Yeah, I think I am. I think I read a book recently and apparently it was giving like this vibe. I don't know. We're gonna go with this. So, growing up in the Kagari slums, Ace has seen her share of suffering. An old tragedy fuels her need for vengeance, but it is the love of her people that propels her until one hot-headed mistake lands her in an inescapable prison where the embers of her wrath ignite. Banished from her tribe for an unforgivable crime, Saoirse is a down-on-her-luck tracker who speaks to the earth, air, and water to trace her marks. Destitute, she agrees to hunt down a killer who has murdered children across an empire. All she has to do is carry out the job and get paid, but then she falls for a charismatic and convenient fugitive who keeps getting in her way. Quill is the crown prince of the empire, nephew of a famed and venerated empress, but he's loath to pick up the mantle when his aunt steps down. As the son of the most hated emperor in the history of his people, he, better than anyone, understands that power corrupts. When a vicious new enemy threatens the survival of the empire, Quill must ask himself if he can rise above his tragic lineage and be the heir his people need. Wait! Sabatier masterfully interweaves the lives of 3 young people as they grapple with the burdens of power, love, and unchecked greed, ready for a dark and breathless journey that may cost these young people their lives and their hearts literally. So this, I believe, takes place 20 or 30 years after An Ember in the Ashes, and I loved the Ember Quartet, so I can't wait to see. But this is the naked hardcover. Absolutely beautiful edges we've got there, and then we have illustrated end pages. So this is a very, very beautiful edition, and I will be reading it. I read all my Fairy Loot editions. That's why I pay for a book subscription, so I can read new books. That is book number 2 on our TBR. I did want to read this last month when I was doing my reading Fairy Loot books, and I really should have picked it up because the 3rd book in that video, if you know, you know. Let's pick a different color for number 3. Your current favorite genre. It is fantasy. Oh, I really want to read Cassandra Clare, The Mortal Instruments, but I'm like, should I finish books that I'm already in the middle of and like series that I'm in the middle of? Because I'm like, I could read Lady of the Lake, Fae Spy Academy, and get that done. Every time I pick this book, everyone in the comments is like waiting for you to read Cassandra Clare, and I'm like, me too, guys. Do I just do it? I just know. The thing is, I know I'm going to want to sit and binge and read the whole series. That's the thing. Am I in the mood for like adult fantasy romance or a young adult series? Urban fantasy? We're gonna pick this one. I'm so sorry. We'll keep this one in case there is a prompt that I can also pick for that, and then we get the best of both worlds. But we're gonna go with Lady of the Lake because then that way I am completing a series and then there won't be any new additions to my TBR from this book. So book number 3, halfway through. How are we feeling, everyone? I'm just reading the blurb of this because I haven't actually read the blurb, but I can't tell you what it is because it would maybe spoil books 1 and 2. But book 1, we're following our main female character Nia, who ends up, as the series says, Fae Academy for Spies. She ends up at a Fae Spy Academy, and it's set in real life between like France and England and Dover and, you know, boats, but in a future modern day where there was like a Fae war. It makes sense when you read the book, but she has to train and be part of this special Fae Spy Academy because she has these powers that she didn't know that she had. And this is the 3rd and final book, so the story has progressed quite a lot through it, but very excited, very easy bingeable, a giggly fun read. I enjoyed books 1 and 2 and it is one that I recommend. And it's not one that I hear people talking about a lot either, but very, very fun time. So 3rd and final book came out in April. A pink prompt this time. If I can get this open. A book that came out in the last 30 days. Do I even own a book that came out in the last 30 days? Because I literally could have just read this. But we picked that. A book that came out in the last 30 days. I don't own a single new release for the last 30 days. Everything is at least 2 months old. I'm pretty good with reading my books as they come out and are released, so I fear we're gonna have to pick another prompt for that one because I don't actually have a book that isn't already on my TBR that hasn't come out in the last 30 days. So pick another pink one. Guys, a book adapted into a TV show or movie. We're gonna do it again. This is the second time that this book is coming on my TBR. This is the second time that I'm putting this book on my TBR. That's better, yes. And we have the 3 strikes and you're out rule. Shadowhunters, I'm pretty sure there's multiple adaptations of this world. I don't know which specific books, but I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this has an adaptation. So we're gonna pick this, guys. Round of applause, everyone. She's finally taken it off her TBR. Am I gonna read it? If I don't read it this time, then the next time it has to be read or on hold. So I'm hoping to read it and might save this one towards the end of the month once I have gotten through the other books I need to read. Because to be fair, the other books that we have picked so far on my TBR, we've got the 3rd and final book in a trilogy, a contemporary standalone, and then this is a spin-off book for another series, but there's only this book out so far. So it's not like I can read these books and then go and continue the series and get up to date with them. But this one has all these other books and interconnected series that I can go and read and binge. So this will probably be one of the later ones that I pick up. But that is our 4th book, City of Bones, Cassandra Clare, young adult urban fantasy. Clary is seeing things, vampires in Brooklyn and werewolves in Manhattan, irresistibly drawn to the Shadowhunters, secret warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons. Clary encounters the dark side of New York City and the dangers of forbidden love. Forbidden? Interesting way to put it. But finally, it's coming up. I said that I wanted to read that book and we're gonna be reading it, hopefully. So 2 more left to pick. Oh, we got a green one this time. Really getting one of every color in this, but I can never open these. They're so sticky. What does that say? You guys gonna read that one before me? A book under 400 pages. Oh, that's just got over 400. That's, oh. Did I just see a spoiler? Yeah, so that's 409 pages. Our Infinite Fates, I know, has under, okay, 393 pages for Our Infinite Fates. That's one that we could read. 381 for Ren in the Holy Library. Bloodmarked, I think is gonna be over. Yeah, that's like 500 pages, so we're gonna put that one down. Throne of Secrets, I don't even want to read this one. And it's over, it's like 500 pages too. I do have Butcher and Blackbird. The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. Am I in the mood for a thriller? I've never read really a thriller. That could be different. Everything else I know is over because we had a similar prompt last month, so I went through everything on the TBR cut and I know they're all kind of over 400 pages long. What do I want to read? All right, I think we're gonna go with Our Infinite Fates. Yeah, because it's a standalone, right? And I should be able to read that and not commit to a new series. That would be good. And I'll save it for when I'm in the mood to feel emotional and cry. A lot of people have said kind of similar vibes to Addie LaRue, but I've also not read that one. So maybe if I do like this and the way it is written and the fantasy elements in this, I might also then go and pick that up because that's another really loved book. But Evelyn has lived countless lives and in every single one she's been killed before her 18th birthday. But in her present life, her little sister needs her in order to stay alive. To save her sister and make it past her 18th birthday, she'll have to find the centuries-old enemy who hunts her through each life, figure out why she's being hunted so she can break the curse once and for all. Most importantly, she's going to have to try and not fall in love with them again. So I think this is like a couple they've loved each other in 1,000 lifetimes. They've killed each other in every one. I think they keep getting reincarnated and she remembers, but he doesn't. And I think we see past lifetimes of them together, which seems quite interesting, of different versions and variations. Oh wow, even just thinking about it now, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see how that's gonna be emotional, but we're gonna read that one finally. So it means we only have our 6th and final prompt left to pick. So let's just randomly pick one. Oh yeah, we'll go with that one. Oh, this one stuck on my finger as well. Okay. A blue one. A book talk fave. Do I have a book talk fave? You know, oh, there are so many. I've got the Poppy War, but that is a book that is potentially going to be read by my book club, so I don't want to pick that one up. Olivia Blake, First Time Caller by BK Borison. Book talk, really loved that when that came out. Say You Swear. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I think this is the one that I'm gonna pick. I thought I would maybe pick a fantasy or something. I was gonna go for The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and that is a smaller book, so a standalone, a good one to pick. Oh, do we pick that one? Okay, let's read the blurbs of both of these and see which one I'm in the mood for. Both of these are a little bit out of my comfort zone. I mean, this one is more of a contemporary romance. It's not like brother's best friend. And I know there is a second book, and everyone has told me not to read the second book. Larry actually picked this book for me in New York when we went book shopping for each other, and she specifically said don't bother with the second one because it ruins the first. But I'm like, does the first one end on a cliffhanger that makes you want to go and read the second one? Because even if the second one is terrible, I still probably would want to go and read the second one. Anyways, this says, her brother's best friend broke her heart, but what happens when his new teammate wants to put it back together? Oh, okay. Ariana Johnson has been dreaming of what college life might bring, and it's finally coming over the horizon as she and her friends plan one last beachside summer together. So much has changed over the years, but there's always been one constant. The boy her heart returns to no matter where her imagination runs. Her brother's best friend Chase. This is the summer she'll finally tell him how she feels. That's it. It's always been him. Until suddenly it isn't. Ari's heart is in splinters when she meets the Stars quarterback Noah Riley. His friendship is exactly what she needs after Chase's rejection, but from the start Noah wants more. Even when their path is blurry, even when tragedy strikes, even when Ari doesn't know her own heart, Noah fights for the feelings he knows they both have, no matter what it might cost them. They say first love lasts forever. Ari's about to find out if that is really true. Then we have The Boyfriend by Freida McFadden that says, she's looking for the perfect man, he's looking for the perfect victim. Sydney Shaw, like every single woman in New York, has terrible luck with dating. She's seen it all. Men who lie in their dating profile, men who stick her with the dinner bill, and worst of all, men who can't shut up about their mothers. But finally she hits the jackpot. Her new boyfriend is utterly perfect. He's charming, handsome, works as a doctor at a local hospital. Sydney is swept off her feet. Then the brutal murder of a young woman, the latest in a string of deaths across the coast, confounds police. The primary suspect, a mystery man who dates his victims before he kills them. Sydney should feel safe after all. She is dating the man of her dreams, but she can't shake her own suspicions that the perfect man may not be as perfect as he seems, because someone is watching her every move, and if she doesn't get to the truth, she'll be the killer's next victim. Now, I've heard that the plot twist in this is not predictable, and anyone who has predicted or tried to guess what it would, they've all been shocked. So this could be like a really, really fun one, and it seems quite short, but am I just in a romance mood? Maybe. I think we're gonna go Say You Swear. So this is officially our TBR for the month of May, and they are all physical books. We don't have any Kindle books this time. I think we got a pretty good selection. So we have Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, romance. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, first book in a new series that we're starting. Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, a YA romance standalone. Lady of the Lake, the third and final book in the Faye Academy for Spies trilogy, fantasy romance. Air, I think this is YA fantasy. And then finally Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen, which I think is a standalone fantasy romance, or romance with fantastical elements, something in it. I do not know what the correct term for this is, but very, very exciting. And like always, I will try to read as many of these as I can in upcoming reading vlogs this next month. If there's anything that you definitely want to see a reading vlog of, let me know. If you have any prompts I can add to my TBR jar, fun little prompt that you want to see me pull, then leave them in the comments below, because I'm probably going to fill up my TBR jar soon now that we have a bigger jar. That is the TBR pulled for the month of May. So thank you so much for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end, comment below a red heart emoji, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.